Hey everybody, this is Julie with ReadySetStampIt.blogspot.com. And have you ever been somewhere or driving, not necessarily driving because I was actually with my husband when this happened and he was driving, and had an idea and thought, oh, I'm going to just write that down. So this is my sketch. Just ignore the chicken scratching because I am definitely not an artist on paper. I think I do pretty good in combining things, but as for drawing, not so much. So this is what we're going to make today, and trust me, it'll look a lot better than my drawing did. So the first thing we're going to do is get this close to my heart stamp set that I have here. So this is a close to my heart stamp set. And I am going to be using these two. So there's this one and this one. So let's just get started. I need the base to be yellow. So I'm going to stamp this yellow portion out here. This is just some StazOn mustard color. Some of my cheap ink here that I got from Heidi Grace's place. Isn't that pretty? So there's that. And then I'm going to be using a brown on it so that I can add the background into it. But what I'll do here first probably is just let this dry because I'm going to need to stamp some brown. So for our next step, what I did was I took one of these K & Company pattern and solid cardstocks, and I took one out, and I picked one that had a backing color like this because I thought it would go really nice with the cardstock that I selected. So these are the three colors that I've chosen to use, and this is also from Heidi Grace's collection. I just thought they were really pretty. So what I did was take one of the cards, and I've actually cut it. And the reason I did this is inside here is going to be where the acetate lays, and this card's actually going to be upright like this. So on this portion here, I measured this out, and this was 3/4 of an inch. So what I need to do is cut another strip of this to be a little smaller than that. The reason is I want to layer that onto there. So I'm going to just put this on here. Of course, it's going to move on me. Silly thing. Okay. Alright. I don't think it's cut all the way to the top, but that's alright. There we go. Because I don't really need it to cut all the way to the top. See, here's a little bit smaller, how that will lie in there. And now I want to cut one more piece for another color, a little bit smaller than that. So now this will be cut at 1/2 inch, which is really small, and I'm trying to hold this in place here. So maybe I'll do this. Let me put this over here so you guys can see it. I'm holding it in place with these scissors so that I have something to grab onto, because otherwise it is a really skinny piece to try to work on here. So this is what I have here. We're going to put this here for some color, and this here for some more color. And then I have another idea that we're going to do after this. So now we just need to trim this up. So there's going to be 3 layers on top of this piece here. Okay, so if you guys remember my drawing, you saw this portion here, and this portion here is going to be the gold that I'm going to add into this. So what I'm going to do here first is just get some double stick tape, and we're going to add a layer into this with this color here. So we'll add this right here, like so. There we go. Add that layer into there. And now with this layer, before I do that, I'm going to introduce this gold, because this is what I had thought of. Okay, so our next step that we're going to do is go ahead and ink up the middle of the flower and the stem. I'm going to put that on top of here because this yellow is all dried. So I'll go ahead and put that here. There we go. And I'm going to let this dry and come back for our next step. Okay, so this is what I have here, and we need to attach this onto here. So what I'm going to do is put some double stick tape up here to make sure that this is going to adhere to this acetate. So I will put this down right about here. Press this down here. And then what I've done here is I've taken this sheet of cardstock that I measured to make sure it would fit this properly. And then I did this 3 layers and 3 layers. And I added some of the flowers that Sylvia had sent me. She sent me this package of flowers, which is perfect because I really needed something this bright yellow and this small. So it's absolutely perfect to work with this. And I was going to add gold down here, which is what I've done over here. But after I saw this yellow and how it tied in, I just left it alone. I thought, you know, good enough is well enough, I think, on that one, because I just don't want to overkill it, and I really like the way it looks. So I'm just going to add some double stick tape onto this side, and this way it'll just line up properly, and you don't have to fidget with it too much. You just lay it on here to make sure it lines up with this bottom here and this portion here, and press. And now the card will just open like this. Okay, so what I did when I put the tape here, the double stick tape had stuck to here, so I added a thin sheet of paper here so that it won't stick. So there you go, and now the card will fold and open. But I think it's so pretty. This acetate just makes this card just gorgeous. Here's a closer look at it, you guys. Isn't that just beautiful? I love that. So I just want to say thanks so much for watching, and I hope to do more soon. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.